Hey guys, I'm just gonna let Yoda handle this one.
Back I am, bitches.
Mass Mikey Gaming.
Hey guys, and I am back finally after a 2-week hiatus. Guys, I have been injured, I am better. Well, I went to a bit of a dungeon called Physio, and yeah, so I'm finally back, guys. Thank you for all the well wishes. In case you don't know, I went off, had a little bit of surgery done to my knee. Found out that I'd torn my ACL, so I've finally been given the all clear to get off of the crutches and get back into things. So last couple of weeks, obviously been just getting into a bit of video gaming and whatnot, and just sitting there on my phone looking at eBay and Facebook groups and just buying a few games. So I'm still waiting on a lot of games to come through. But you're not here for what I've bought, you're here for what I've already got. So guys, first off with what arrived. And a big thank you to my man George, who picked up a lot of these from work for me. I get a lot of stuff sent to work, so got George to pick them up because they were just going to sit there, and we got a policy that if they sit there too long, they're going to return them to sender. But the first one that I got on the Xbox was Cold Fear. Now, Cold Fear, this is actually a game that I have owned previously, but I didn't get into it. When I had more dollars than cents, I used to buy a lot of games, and I used to trade in a lot of games if they didn't grab me in the first 20 seconds. So Cold Fear is sort of a Resident Evil clone. It's got fixed camera, so like your original OG Resident Evils, and it's actually got over-the-shoulder controls, like Resident Evil 4 and upwards. So it was actually a really interesting title. It takes place on a boat. It's got a lot of down the side, sort of the laser sighting, so from your Resident Evil 4 when you're over the shoulder, but you can sort of switch in between. It's, from what I've heard, it's not really the scariest game out there, but it's pretty good. Now, I got this from CEX. Haven't had any problems with them since. This one was in a lot of good condition and came with manual, even the Ubisoft form to send back stuff. So that was pretty cool. And look, this one's probably just going to go on the shelf, to be honest. It might come out eventually if somebody tells me that it's a good thing to do. Next up, we have Dead Man's Hand. Now, if you don't know me, I am a bit of a Western nut, so I love all my Western movies. So from The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, to Tombstone, to Young Guns, to everything. And that also goes on to my gaming preferences. The first ever Western game that I got was actually, what was it called? Outlaws. It was an old PC game, and it was really, really cool. It came with the soundtrack and everything, and I used to listen to that soundtrack non-stop, I kid you not. And in case you don't know, Outlaws was actually done by LucasArts, and that actually came out on Good Old Games. So as soon as that came up on Good Old Games, I bought it and I played quite a bit of it. It's obviously a step back from all the Westerns these days, but if you do want a really good Western game, check that one out. But back to the actual one that we're talking about, Dead Man's Hand. Never played it, but from what I've actually heard about it, there's a lot of different gaming styles on it. So you've got your first-person shooter, obviously that's the main part of the game, but you've also got a bit of on-rail gameplay as well. So when you're on a horse, like your old sort of shoot up, so as you move through the scene, and from what it looks like, it looks pretty good. I was looking at a PC build of it, but it's also got card games before and after during the load screens and whatnot. I think this is actually running off of the old Unreal 2 engine. So look, I'll probably more than likely give this one a go. As I said, love my Western games. And the next one was a bit of an oddity. Now, this game, when I lift it up, you'll look at it and you go, oh. Now, I don't know much about this game, and my friend George, who was a big fan who delivered them to me, he didn't even know about this game. Superman the Man of Steel on the Xbox. Now, if you look on the interwebs and whatnot, like, you can't actually find that much on about this game. So I found a really random review site and had a look at it, and these two were just a bunch of nutters, to be honest. I can't remember what they were called, but they're big Superman fans, and they were actually showing on their thing that they actually smashed Superman 64. So they're obviously passionate fans, if you don't mind me saying. But this game actually, like if you look at the back of the cover, and I'll put up some gameplay clips, it actually doesn't look too bad. These guys were saying, yeah, it's really good. A lot of people trashed it, blah blah blah. But they didn't actually read the instructions or just try pressing the buttons, because you've got your lock on button, you've got your panning, you've got your zero in and whatnot. So it is in essence an actual action Superman game. And they actually said that it was pretty well done. I think they gave it like a 6 or something like that. So it's not a 2 or a 1 like Superman 64. But it does actually look the goods, and I have actually heard good things about it. But again, not a lot of people know that this game is actually out there. I picked this up for probably about $6. So for $6 and a fairly sort of unique title, I was pretty wrapped with that. Now this next one that I've got coming up, this one, the game itself isn't something that I'm like, oh, this is, I've got to have and blah, blah, blah. But it's actually something that you're not going to find many of. And now this is actually the boxed copy of Shadowrun. Now, you can't actually buy this at retail stores. I actually found this really randomly on the internet, and there's actually this website called Limited Run. Now, Limited Run put out a lot of games a lot of digital games that only come out digitally. And they actually put it on a disc copy. So you've actually got your Limited Run sort of symbol down the back. And they're very reasonably priced. Like this, to get sent to Australia from wherever it was, I think it only cost about $40. And for a game that, I think they only made 3,000 of them, 3,000 or so. Because they do actually have, they looks like they actually bring out new games every month. So it's worth checking out, because they've actually got a lot of your really obscure games that don't sort of go out there, like Harvest Moon and whatnot that come out. So I was actually really wrapped. I was trying to get this plus the soundtrack, but by the time that I got around to it, because I actually set a reminder on my phone, Limited Run, go get here, because it was at like 12 o'clock Australian time, 12 a.m. That it was actually going on sale. So I'm pretty happy with this, and I'm obviously going to keep an eye out on that website for more. But I did play it. I did initially play that game back on the Xbox when the Xbox 360 when it was a digital title. Playing the remastered one. I don't know. I can't. It's fine. Like it's nothing amazing, sort of remastered or anything like that. Much like most games are these days. And just the next two that I've got are a couple of new titles. ReCore, which I've definitely played, and I am definitely in love with this game. It takes me back to your old Prince of Persia platforming adventure games. It's got it doesn't sort of like give you the story straight away, but it does sort of ease you in, and as you keep playing through, you're sort of getting little bits of information of what the hell's going on and what's happened to the world. And I'm really enjoying it. I've just got my second actual sort of buddy. So you start off with the dog, and I won't spoil who you get next, but when the new mechanics sort of come in with the recores or the cores, that it's really different. Like it's actually really hard. So it's a lot of trial and error, this game, which I absolutely adore. Now, again, like Westerns, I'm a big Prince of Persia fan. If you don't know, if you're new to this channel, I love Prince of Persia, I love Sands of Time, I love Warrior Within even more, and I less love The Two Thrones, but also 2008's Cell Shaded One was another one of my favourites. And lastly, the king of basketball games, NBA 2K17. So I picked this one right up after I got my Torture Chamber done. NBA 2K. I played the prelude last weekend, so that was a bit of fun. I ended up getting drafted 15th overall and going to Denver, which I wasn't too happy with. But there's a really cool companion app where you get my team and whatnot, but it does require a bit of bloody keeping on, because when you enter in a season and whatnot, your stamina goes down and you've got to keep on top of keeping your stamina up. So you've got to play games to earn stamina boosts, so then you can put them in. So that is obviously its game within itself. But NBA 2K is the only basketball/sports game that I will buy annually. I was spewing that I did not order the Kobe edition because I'm a big Lakers fan, and obviously Kobe. Hopefully there'll be an add-on, but I have put my name down that if there is a copy available, that they're going to give me a call. Because I've seen what the collector's edition was, which I didn't actually know, and it's actually it's in a plastic case, a big basketball. It looks really cool. Champ Chong actually did an unboxing. He got his yesterday. I don't know how, but I just started playing through the actual My Player season for the last sort of 2 hours, and it's actually really, really good. It's actually like a basketball life simulator. So if that's your thing, definitely get into it. Generally, I wait for at least the season to start, so all the off-season changes are made and whatnot. But I'm a Lakers fan on the West and a New York fan on the East. So both those teams have done a lot of off-season moves, and I'm really excited to see how those guys are going and how they're going to play. So I'm probably going to have 2 seasons plus the My Player. But that is it for this week. I'd like to give a shout out to my YouTube followers page. The guys over there, Kai from the Cranksmen, he's given me the new logo for my website and whatnot, so I'm using that everywhere. So he just basically said, hey dude, we're going to help you out. We want to sort of put you as a featured member and whatnot. So what would help you more is if you have like a logo or something. He's like, look, I'll do it for you. Give us what you want. He took a few drafts and he outputted what I think is the best thing for how I am as a gamer. Except of not having Prince of Persia there, but it's all right. But they're helping everyone on there. Old mate Bowser, he's another good bloke who's always up for a good chat and a lot of helping out with everything. It's a really great community that we've got there, so I'll actually link them below. And don't forget, if you like what you've seen, give us a thumbs up. I hope to get at least 10 likes this video. It is known as the return. But I've got about sort of 20 followers now. I wouldn't mind getting that up to about 30 to 40 over the next coming months. This is a slow burn, I know that. But guys, hopefully you like what you see. And as we end each and every one of our shows, peace!